Hey everyone, good morning. Absolutely beautiful morning to you. And I am in the process of having really good Jamaican bush tea, yeah? And I haven't had bush tea in a while. This is fever grass and merengue together with just a tad bit of ginger and honey, real Jamaican honey. And I decided I was going to have this tea. I'm home today. My daughter's a little bit under the weather, not sick, just under the weather. I said, you know what? I'm going to work from home today, which is cool, right? And while I'm in the process of having this tea, my guide said, press that button. So I know and press that button. Okay. So I'm going to talk because there's something that needs to go out this morning. So I may not be long. This is very spontaneous, but I'm calling it my morning cup of tea. And the message that flows through this morning is, when is the last time you chose to have a detox? Now, I know this is going to air, you're going to get to watch it later, but I love the idea of being able to press play now. I'm having fun with this press play apparatus. Say, okay, this is on my mind, because you have no idea. So many things flow through my mind, and sometimes I really forget them, and I think to myself, oh my gosh, I wish somebody heard that. So now when these downloads come, I want to speak them because in that moment now I trust that there's somebody out there. So whoever's out there in this beautiful world having a cup of tea, my choice of tea today is merengue, fever grass with a bit of ginger and honey. And the message for you today is, when is the last time you had a detox? Now this can be a little bit saucy, yeah? Now, a detox means your physicality, your actual body, which most of us really venture throughout this world never thinking that our bodies need a clean out, right? And a detox also means spiritually. It means your surroundings. It means every aspect of your life. So let's go through that the way the guides are showing me. So your body is super intelligence, not intelligent. Intelligence meaning that it's its own universal unit, your body. Every single thing in this world that you can think of that you enjoy right now was modeled from your beautiful bodies. So imagine all the organs in your bodies are just beautiful, intelligent cells, which they are, and they know exactly what they need to live this life within this vessel. You know, for me, I've got a red Ferrari. That's my body, right? And my spirit loves to go out and play and go to this fun day. And I want you to visualize for a moment. For me, when I go to the sleep state or when I meditate or I'm connecting with my guides, this is how I envision it. It's kind of quirky, but hear me out. So it's a phase where I kind of perceive my body as this red, dashing, beautiful Ferrari, yeah? And I cherish this Ferrari. And this Ferrari, I will never allow myself to put the apparatus or anything that needs to go in a Toyota in this Ferrari because I treasure it so much. I listen to this Ferrari, and when I start it up in the mornings, I listen to it hum. And I can feel, oh, my car, which is my body. Really nice, really set. Yeah, it's ready for the road. And what I do is I tune into it, I listen to it, I make sure all the plugs are okay, there's not misfiring, and I'm ready to explore this life. Yeah, that's my red Ferrari. But when I go into my dream state, or when I choose to rest, which you need rest, or when I just simply choose to allow myself to be a conduit of truth and of love and, you know, these messages that do flow through, I want you to understand as I visualize myself just driving my Ferrari and parking it at Disney World in the safest parking lot. And I'll say to them, listen to me, I'm parking my Ferrari here. Take care of it until I come back. So that's my body in a sense. And when I go into my sleep state, I park my Ferrari in the parking lot. It's safe. It's okay. But see, I want to explore. So the spirit that I am, literally, choose to go on every single joyride that I want to for that night because my Ferrari is okay. I'm not contained by my car. It just takes me where I need to go and allow me to explore. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes when I park it at Disney World, I go exactly over to, where the dock is. And I want to explore the world. So I take a cruise sometimes. And I go to the airport sometimes and I take a flight and I explore. Do you understand? Which means I really just prefer to choose to have fun with life. However, without this bloody Ferrari, I can't go anywhere. I'm restricted. So the message this morning was, get yourself something for detox. Now, this tea that I'm taking is not for detox, but moringa is very good for the body. And the fever grass really allows me, soothes my soul and it helps with indigestion and all these things. And the ginger, you know what ginger is. Ginger is just good for everything. Do you know what I mean? And the honeys, I just put a tip of honey in it because I don't like anything sweet now because my body repels sweet stuff, right? But let's talk about detox. I remember years ago, my grandmother gave me a dream. And within the dream, she had castor oil, which I didn't know castor oil was so powerful. And at the time, I didn't know I needed anything like a detox. I remember I had this, they call it a lymph node that came up under my left arm. I was in Jamaica at the time. And I was getting dreams then, but had no idea this was this special effect. I just thought, I dreamed my grandmother. But anyway, I was going to the doctor. They said, you have to do a biopsy. And then when I did the biopsy, they said, you know what? It's a benign lump. It's not cancerous, but we still need to remove it. I thought to myself, bloody hell, I have to do this. Anyway, I made the appointment, everything. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to do it. I had this feeling within me. Why do I really need to cut my skin to do this? Now, I'm not saying not to do anything. I'm just trying to tell you how sometimes when we think outside of the box, if we allow our bodies, our super intelligence to speak to us, sometimes it makes life easier, yeah? And I remember that weekend I had this dream with my grandmother and she dreamt me about this castor oil. And not just this castor oil. She was making this thing on the stove and it had ginger and I remember seeing her put ginger in and turmeric, and there was just like a dash of apple cider vinegar, and there was something like pepper, and long after I realized it was cayenne pepper, but I couldn't figure what kind of pepper it was. What else was it? She put lemon in that pot. So it was ginger, lemon, turmeric, a dash of apple cider vinegar, and I remember the brand now, but I won't call the name because use whatever you have. And I remember that, but there was one thing that I couldn't figure out what it was, and I found after what it was because I didn't know it was clove. She put 3 dashes of clove in there, like 3 bits of clove, and she was doing it on the stove, and she said, you need a detox. You need to align your cells again. Your body is speaking to you, and what it's telling you is, listen, there's something foreign within this unit, and we've done as much as we can. Now that we've allowed it to appear on the surface, you need to get rid of it. Why don't you do a detox? And I was saying to myself, what is she talking about? Anyway, I did it without the clove because I had no idea what that thing was. And I also did it without the cayenne pepper because then I didn't know anything about cayenne pepper. I just know black pepper, right? So anyway, I did that. And within the dream, before she left, she gave me a thing of castor oil and she said, she's Jamaican, so she said to me in the thing, when your stomach cramp up, rub castor oil on your belly and put it in your navel. I thought to myself, what castor oil I gotta do? Because to myself, I'm thinking, maybe. So I trusted. So I went through this series over this weekend before I had the next appointment. And I remember I used the castor oil on my stomach. And I used the castor oil on this area where this lump came up that they wanted to cut. And I also drank the tea that she gave me. And do you know, within a period of 4 to 5 days, that lump was not there anymore. And I just don't know where it went. All I know is it just simply went. And the castor oil that I put on my stomach, I get a clean out. I didn't know castor oil was that bad. So I think I want to give you an idea that sometimes your body speaks to you. As a matter of fact, all the time it does. But sometimes it really, really speaks to you when you're going into a trajectory that's really making you a little bit off balance, depending on synthetic things, just making choices. Every day you're going to have a coffee, every day, every day, every day. But every so often you need to listen when you take that coffee up, or take that smoothie or whatever it is, that slushy that's filled with sugar. And the moment you feel repelled by it, it's your body telling you, okay, we've had enough for this week. Let's detox. Whatever detox means to you, but that apparatus, that my grandmother, that regimen, I have done it ever since. And it's helped my body to literally just be in unity, in a sense, where you feel your cells are strong enough to regenerate itself. Do you understand? So I wanted to tell you about that within the physicality, but now let's go spiritually. I've learned now that whenever things start to appear in your life physically, you can see it, smell it, taste it, experience, witness it. Always, not usually, always it is a mirror of what you are avoiding spiritually. So a lot of times we need to detox spiritually too. Do you understand? A lot of times we are holding on to these paradigms that really makes us feel so bloody depleted right through the day. I'm so tired of this 9 to 5, I can't be bothered. However, you have this intuitive outburst of creative ideas and you talk too much. So when you start to talk and you see, I'm going to speak and I'm going to say God every so often, because remember, I'm Jamaican and I was brought up with this Christian background. Is still within me. And when I say God, if you don't resonate with God, it's creator, it's source, it's universe, it's everything. But every so often I'll say God, and I won't apologize for it, because I'm ingrained with the God consciousness, and so are you, okay? But many times when you find that your life is dormant and all of a sudden you start to identify yourself, you want to be identified as, oh, I am ADHD, I am stressed, I am depressed, and you owe it because I don't know what's happening and nothing's happening. Do you know what happens most times when you're in this state? In Jamaica, we would say trick the devil. God knows for trick the devil. You know, your body knows, your soul knows the traps that are set for you in a way that they allow you to be so dormant within the dark space when your mind is this busy highway. Because when you are there, one, you get to literally reflect within because you feel as if you're so alone. Two, God finds a way to hide you before you're ready for your mastery. So you're being prepared for something. And all these dodgy jobs and these situations that you're going through that you say, we can't take it no more. You are being prepared. See, when you get to your mastery, you're going to stop one day and say, oh my gosh. And if you're there now, where you're feeling absolutely at peace at what you do, because what you do feels almost like child play. It doesn't feel like work because it's not. It's you just exchanging your service for abundance, right? Not money, not limiting yourself to money, but you're exchanging yourself for abundance, which means you get free coffee and you never ask for it. You just get somebody being kind to you and you just don't know why. It's when you find yourself in this state of abundance. And what happens is you find yourself in this place where you realize, oh my gosh, that I had that I really hated so much, I needed that skill. That experience that I went through with grief, I needed to understand. I needed to understand what that felt like for what I'm doing now. That experience that I had when my heart was broken and I thought you ripped it out, I needed that skill there. And then you start to realize the domino effects that Spirit's been setting up for you. There's no scene in your life that's ever wasted. There's no soul that is carnated on this earth that's wasted on a soul level. I know you're going to beat me for this. But you know, I'm more in my soul than my body anyway, so it can't affect me. I'm telling you the truth. There's no soul that came here who doesn't need to be here. One of you is here for a reason. And most of you that find yourself in this dark, expressive lifetime, or in this family that you know, you say it's so dysfunctional. It's because on a soul level, the reason why you identify the dysfunction is because you chose this family. as this very vibrant soul to say, I want to go, I want to go. I choose that parent because I can be the light in the darkness in this space. I choose this family. Do you see what's happening with all the women in that family, like my family? I chose. I had this pre-birth memory, and I had a QHD with Alma Weinman, which Alba, I love you so much. And I had this pre-birth memory before I even became an embryo. You know what I mean? Before I chose to come to Earth, I chose my family. I chose my mother. And it was the weirdest way, and it was a very weird experience. On a soul level, I love this. I chose this family because within the ancestry of this family, the women chose to settle. The women were so vibrant and had this intuitive gift of seeing, of feeling, of knowing all. But they held it dormant, and because of that, they allowed themselves to settle. The abuse happened, and they allowed themselves to say, you know what, I overcame it, so you, the daughter, overcome it too. I got through it. And I realized when I had that memory, oh my gosh, I chose this. And I remember this pre-birth memory within the womb of my mom. And I told her this. And I felt everything that she felt. And I had this knowing, oh my gosh, I'm coming here to show her unconditional love. Because she knew she had love, but I wanted her to feel unconditional love. Do you know where we grow with love with condition? I love you if you do this. And you know, especially we Caribbean children, I don't know about the American ones or the other countries, but we grew a streak where a child is seen or not heard, and sometimes parents do the best they can, but they kind of separated our childhood from unconditional love. So you feel as if I have to do to please, to get some love, Did I do good enough for you to love me? Please. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of us grow with this ingrained here. And when we get to a certain age like now, where you have this question within you, there must be more. I know I deserve more. I know life cannot just be this. Why did I come here? And the moment you start to identify this, it's your soul calling to say, no, you didn't. You came to be more. You came to be the catalyst of change. You came to be the one who's breaking this ancestral curse in your family. That's why it feels as if you're carrying the burdens of everyone in your family. That's why everyone comes to you for advice. That's why all these people are attracted to you who are so depleted. It's not because you're darkness. They are attracted to you because of your light. Darkness is attracted to light because it always wants to be more. But we were growing up to teach, oh, darkness is just everything that we don't want to be. Well, you can't get rid of it. You have dark, you have light. The choice you're making today is, how do I detox myself spiritually? Well, first thing you do is tap here. I begin with me. There's a part of me at age this. And the first age that comes to you, your soul is telling you that, you know what, that's where you had this disconnection. You cut the cord between yourself and your inner child, because then you witnessed something, you experienced something that totally told you you're not safe. You don't deserve. Okay. And what you've done, like I did, is spread this beautiful Persian rug over it. And I keep living because you know what? Nobody's ever going to know this experience I had. But no. That's not what you chose to do. You chose to come here to shine the light on these things that happens in order to break the curse of it, in order to catalyze change for it, in order to pick up these beautiful skills, although they seem so dodgy and dirty and murky. And I didn't like that job, and I didn't like that relationship and that experience. But see, you needed to pick up the grace of mercy. You need to pick up the skill of patience. You need to pick up the skill of compassion. You need to pick up the skill of grounding yourself and standing firm no matter what wind or storm comes in your life. You remain grounded. There's no scene in your life that is wasted. Everything takes you somewhere more, not less. So just because you've been taught the stories of your ancestry, and there was so much struggle, and there's struggle in the black community and the African American, and we struggle so much. But you know what my ancestors told me? Yes, they struggled for us to ensure that we don't struggle too. So why should I carry on this torch of struggle? No. And it took me so many years to figure it out, that when I realized, I was so angry, like, why did they teach me this? Why did not they not teach me about self-love and self-healing? Because I just realized that within this brain of mine, which my guides call the riverbanks, I've picked up these rocks of my ancestors, because the stories were told and it was given to me in history, and I owned it so much that I placed it here. And I owned it because, yes, that's my story. I come from struggle. No, no, no. I didn't come from struggle. I overcame struggle, which means I now have the right to stand in my truth and my power and detox this belief system and rewrite the earth, the life, the people I want in my life. Do you understand? And this is the detox. And now my tea is almost cold. So when I woke up this morning with this thing to say, okay, no coffee today. And I decided to make this tea of merengue and fever grass with a pinch of ginger and a little bit of honey. While you're detoxing your body, but sometimes you're feeling afflictions in the physicality, I want you to know it's not just the physicality. It's mirroring the change that you are turning your backs from. Do you understand? Yes, you know there's more to something. Hi, y'all. Hi for tuning in. I'm really practicing this live thing. Hi, Jory. Hi, Jory. Cy B, Honeycomb, Donna Chris, Sean Hart. I complain. What are you complaining about? Thanks for tuning in. This is a spontaneous live, and I wanted just to say this because detox is a big word. It's not just about, okay, I'm going to do something for my body. Although I shared with you and my grandmother shared with me years ago, my grandmother who's passed away, about how to detox my body and what she showed me and how it helped me to get rid of this lymph node, this lump that came up that they said, it's benign, but we're going to have to cut it. And she helped me to go through this modality of allowing my body, which is super consciousness, to basically heal itself. But it happens because I believed it. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, yes, you need to change it. I am enough. I don't complain. You can put I am love too. You see, words are so powerful. Now you're going to get me into another topic, aren't you? Words are powerful. And if I remind me to talk about the frequency of the words that you use and how much it really controls the trajectory of your life. Yeah. But anyway, many times the detoxing comes from our environments. And you see, when spirit sets you up, it's a serious setup, because many times when God wants you to change, to shift, to be redirected, most times they use the people who are closest to you for this detox. Because we settle so easily. Oh, this is safe. I don't want to do anything else. It's really safe. I'm really used to this job. Okay, I know it depletes me and I can't take them. And I don't like the supervisor. And I don't like this one, but I have to go. But no, your soul is saying, no, you don't need to settle. All you need to do really is pause and allow. Pause and allow where we are redirecting you. But because you choose not to, all of a sudden, this supervisor is like a thorn in your skin. But here's where your perception really does remain cloudy. Instead of looking at it and honing into your heart to say, God, universe, guide, angels, whatever name you want to use, where are you redirecting me to? Because it's always, not sometimes, it's always a redirection, because you're supposed to start your own business and you just don't trust it because you're worried so much about, I have to work and struggle to make the money, so I don't know, I can't trust it. So what spirit, what your soul, what your guides do is set up this one individual who's right in your face. It's beyond a reasonable doubt, who just makes life so bloody hard. You can't stand to go to work. And something ridiculous happens and you get a job of, they let you go. When that happens, if that happens, just understand to sit with yourself and say, okay, I know this is a redirection. Don't start packing everything else. I know life is going to be hard. I just know I'm supposed to struggle. Can't use the word despise because it's very egoic. I dislike it when you choose to use words that depletes you to a point of where your cells in your body starts to malfunction. She doesn't believe in the heart. She believes the mind and everything that the mind has taken up along the wayside, but it's really not true to her. Why is it that she believes? Because this job that was actually depleting her, taking her to a burnout, now it was set up for her to easily exit, although it was somebody else who caused it. Understand that person was simply a day player. Yes, within their physicality, they were choosing to withhold love by being malicious. But see, God sets things up in a way where the devil has a plan, but God already had a plan before the devil had that plan. Because before that person chose to be malicious to you, or choose to hurt you, or break your heart, God already knew that was going to happen. Universe, whatever. I don't know what to do with these words because some of you don't like the word God. Get used to it, okay? But there was a plan before the devil had that plan, or darkness had that plan. And what happens is God uses this individual to redirect your path. The moment you do that, it's as if you had glasses on and they were so foggy, you really weren't seeing the world the right way you're supposed to see it. You saw it with limitations. Like, I have to really do this. I have to stay in this relationship. He abuses me so much verbally and so mean to my kids and so this and so that. But I must stay because if I don't, how do I pay my rent? How do I this? And your guides are saying, shut up for a moment and feel into your heart, will you? Because you know what? You were only supposed to experience this only once. Not for your lifetime. Pressing replay. Okay, I'm done with this experience and I really want to rewrite it, but I have to remain on this stage in my life where hurt was and trauma was because it's what I'm used to. And you press replay. Okay, different players, different characters, but you're still doing the same thing. Going into the same habits and cycles of, I'm settling, I just want somebody to love me. But don't you want unconditional love for you? So you're within this space and you realize, oh my gosh, I'm being redirected because I deserve more. And sometimes you need to be in a space. The other day, one of the angels told a beautiful client of mine, she's gone through some afflictions. And I found it interesting where the angel said, sometimes you have to lose everything to realize you don't need anything to know that you already are everything. And if you say that to yourself during the course of today, whatever you're going through, it's not just the words that I just said, it's the frequency that comes off it. And if you keep saying this to yourself, you literally feel every microorganism, every cell, every nanobyte within your soul just starts to, as if you're floating. Because you start to reaffirm yourself and relearn that really I am enough. I really do deserve. Yeah, I'm really limiting myself. I can do this. And the moment you open up, you really start to detox yourself. So it's not just the physicality of understanding, yeah, the air is unclean, the water is unclean, the food you eat is so synthesized. But if you allow your body to say, you know what, body, what do you need today to feel in balance, to feel in balance with this life, in balance where you can take me where I want to go in this beautiful Ferrari that's called my body. This gas, this petrol that you need to continue to go, the sparks plug, I don't know, the apparatus of cars, but whatever you need to go, body, let me check in with you. I didn't get a blueprint for you or a manual, so you tell me, right? And when you choose to do this, your body allows you now to feel what it needs. Do you understand what I mean? So all of a sudden you used to eat red meat. Doesn't mean that anything is wrong with red meat, but if your body doesn't need that to sustain itself or to contain the nutrients that you need right now in this vessel, as you breathe and pause and allow, you'll find yourself repelled by things that you normally would love. Because now you start to trust and your body starts to detox itself. And before you get to that point, you can take my grandmother's advice of using the castor oil. Just put the castor oil in your navel. I remember the first time she said to me, "No, put castor oil on my belly. It's sticky." This was years ago. But it does something to the body. Not just that, but I think because I believed in it. It was coming from my grandmother who passed away. And she said she didn't really believe in doctors. The first time we took her to the doctor is when she passed away. She lived from the land. She whenever we go to look for Thai, you see I have this tied on. I can visualize her now. You see bush coming out of here. And you say, "Grandma, where in your head?" "Oh, me have a little headache and me put it in there." But it's always in her head. And she said, "I have a little footache, but it's in her head." She wraps it in her head because she always had this knowing that, you know, your body is super intelligent. It doesn't even matter where you put it. It's with the intention to say, "I'm ready to trust you to heal me." Do you know what I mean? So this morning, I don't know what your afflictions are. I don't know what your limited beliefs are. I wanted you to know that detoxing your cells, your body is very important. Detoxing your environment. You know, these energy vampires that you have around you that you feel, "Oh, I still need them." But the moment they start to speak, you can feel the energy draining from your body because it's not as if you are limiting of anything. But see, when your light becomes so bright, darkness attracts itself to you. Seriously. In the apparatus as families, as best friends, as co-workers, as strangers, people just come up to you and they want to tell you their stories, not because they want to, but your light is so bright. You're so focused on love and self-healing that, you know, the darkness that is literally taking over their space is attracted to this light. And this, their soul knows that maybe if I can get close enough to this person and tell them my problems, it will go away. Hello, it really does. And as soon as you take on, you say, "I'm an empathic person." But you be careful with the empathy that you have because you take on the weight of other people without closing the door to say, "Yeah, I just heard your story and I gave you the advice, but you're going to go with what you came with and leave me with what I have." And your body starts to tell you, you don't understand spirituality. You don't understand that you really are not supposed to take it on. That's their soul path. You're supposed to open yourself, yes, to be a conduit of love and be boots on the ground, but you're not meant to take it on, to take on their story, to take you back to where your hurt lived. To watch you take it on so much that it takes you into a state where you literally can't function for the day because somebody out there chose to withhold love. So you are going to pack onto that and start withholding love from yourself also by not taking care of you, by starting to judge somebody else, by starting to be bitter. I hate that. And when you do that, what it does is it just starts to amplify the darkness. And you can't see it, but you can feel it because your body becomes drained and you just feel as if, "I can't take it in this world anymore." Well, you chose to be in this world because there was an imbalance. And you are the light. I think I put hashtag lighthouse. If I didn't, I want you to hashtag lighthouse. Here's why. We are awakening that. Because it's time for us to stand in our truth and our power and really understand that we are boots on the ground. For ourselves first. We're this inner child that we severed ourselves from years ago, from the afflictions or what we witnessed, this trauma, this pain, this shame that you feel, "Oh, I own this shame and I need to carry it with me all my life." No. You were made to witness it, to understand. Listen. I am the lighthouse from this thing that I experienced, and I chose to come here to shine a light on this. Within my family, my children will not experience the things I experience because I am the lighthouse. This is me. I'm blinking this light with my truth, and I am speaking my truth, and I will not allow you to tell me that I should settle in a relationship, in a job, in a thought construct, in a religion, in a society, in an ancestral trait that comes down that tells me that I need to struggle. It's time to detox. You become the lighthouse the minute you start to ask yourself, "But there's more. I wonder what's my purpose?" That's the most permanent question. Well, your purpose mostly is to just be the truest version of yourself which most of us live our entire lives modeling who we should be to somebody else. This is what this person is, and this is the popular thing. This is trend now, so I want to be this. I want to emanate to this. This is what they're doing to their hair now, so I'm going to. So, what about what you want? What about what's true to your heart? So, all of a sudden now, identity is the construct of why you exist. So, if that is stripped from you, I am an attorney because everyone in my family has been an attorney, but in your heart, I really just want to be a creative, But I can't do it because I'm afraid of not pleasing them. You know what? I've always gone to church every day of my life. And I'm sitting in the back bench because I just feel as if I'm not worthy for God to hear my prayer. And I just don't know what to do. I'm confused because I don't feel accepted there either. It's because your soul is telling you, listen, you already are an aspect of God. You don't need to seek God outside of yourself. And when you get to that point, then you can go and sit in a church and permeate the energy of love because you realize you are already unconditional love. That's how you came. When I had my NDU, when I got to come back, when I was placed into that dark space and there was that pinprick within the darkness where everything is created. When I had the breath, I came back with this knowing that, oh my gosh, that breath is not just air. Breath is consciousness. It has a memory of everything you're supposed to be and everything that your heart knows that you're being guided to. But instead, we disconnect ourselves and believe that we are unworthy. I'm not worthy of channeling more than you are. You channel too. When you sit and somebody comes in front of you and you have no idea, I don't know where their words come from, but he was so stressed out and I really just went into my heart because you felt so compassionate. It comes from compassion. And you told the person the right thing where you can feel the weight lift off them and you just channeled. When you can sit and you can create music and you can write something and somebody can read it and say thank you, you just channeled. When you're the person in your family that everybody calls, listen, I want to talk, I'm stressed out, and you hold space to listen, you just channeled. There's nothing special about me or you or anyone else. And if there's anyone who does these things, who tell you, come to me because I'm the one with the gift, we all have this gift. What I love is for the past month, every angel that's come in so far, everyone that sits across the screen from me, what I absolutely love is this lighthouse that's been emitted across this globe now. I can feel it just spreading like wildfire. And I can feel the agitation of the darkness because it knows it's losing. Oh my gosh, they're asking too much questions. This feminine energy it's permeating this fear, and I don't want these women to stand up for themselves. And when I say feminine energy, it's not just for women. We all have masculine and feminine energy. However, these texts and these stories and history has told us that the feminine part of you is weak. It's actually a lie. The feminine part of you is the strongest. The feminine part of you is the part of you that connects you directly to God, to universe, to knowing that you're everything, everyone, everywhere too. That's a part that is without apology, that does not apologize for speaking her truth or his truth. The feminine energy that you are, that's what's awakening. And they call it the junk DNA. You have this feeling as if there's something or someone else inside you, and it scares the bejeebies out of you because they've always told you, you know what? This is the constraints of where you should go. But what about love? Why is it that I come in here and when I speak about love or I do interviews, sometimes you don't say it, but I feel it. People say, love? Why is it so hard to say to somebody, all you have to do is love yourself? And the first thing that I feel coming back from you is, I can't love myself. Do you see this thing on my face, these pimples? Do you see the struggle I went through? Do you see this disease that I'm battling? And you just convinced yourself that it's impossible to love you. But why is it easier for you to believe when I say to you, you know, you're going to go through this struggle, and all of a sudden your attention sparks and say, yes, I knew it. I knew I was going to go through this struggle. And I said to you, because it's coming from your ancestors, and I'm sorry, you're just not going to find love. And I'm sorry, yeah, you're going to go through this and you're going to have this thing. Why is it that you don't believe that if loving yourself starts with you, it reciprocates for you the abundance that you already are? I find it extremely strange that you don't believe that you deserve love so much that you can start by making a change in this world by loving yourself. You understand what I mean? How come you don't know that? I didn't come here to speak long today. I really just wanted to talk about detoxing your life, detoxing your body, listening to your body, because there's so many people sitting across from me to say, Nikki, I don't understand. I'm worried because I've lost my appetite. It's not that you've lost your appetite. Your body, your cells are literally realigning itself. Gaia is realigning itself, because you know what? We need to shape up. We need to detox. And most times when that happens, you also find people are leaving your lives for no reason. And you get so worried about it. Don't be. The angels say when people start to move away from you, shift away from you, understand, visualize yourself, knowing that, wow, it's simply because my light is expanding so much that they're giving me space without the distractions, without the naysayers, without the people saying, no, that idea you have is absolutely ridiculous. It's never going to work. Where are you going to get the money from? Are you really going to leave corporate for this? And what happens is when you sit into this thought and start to channel for yourself the things that are true to your heart, your light starts to expand, and people just don't understand why. All of a sudden, she's so confident. I don't like it. So the things that you're thinking of, and especially if you're starting to get dreams, just document them. Don't worry about it. Just, my guides would say, don't even think about writing it, because then the analytical mind comes in and say, oh my gosh, what happened then and then and then, and you forget. Just press play. Put a recording apparatus on your phone, and when you wake up in the morning, keep your eyes closed and just, open your eyes enough to get it. Press record and just speak. Because when you speak, it's not just talking about the dream. There's a frequency that comes with it. And in a month or so, something will happen and it will just trigger a memory. Oh my gosh, I had that dream. And you realize it was an instruction manual that you're receiving. We're all going to start receiving it in a while, because you have your families and you have your friends and you have your guides and your angels who have always been there. However, it's now within this state where you realize, wow, I can perceive it more. This glass, this lens that you've been looking through, somehow, some of you have cleaned it yourself because you've had NDEs, you've started to meditate, you've started to choose to look in the mirror 30 seconds longer and say, you know what, I love you. And by doing that, by acknowledging that, to say, I know I deserve more. And you started to take the sacred act into starting to look at spaces, because I'm starting my own business, or you're starting to do research, or you're starting to upgrade yourselves, in your career. That sacred act. And what you do, you started to awaken this knowing within yourself. Yes, it's time. You're now going to become the lighthouse, because the people in your household are going to start to notice, wow, mom is just different. She's looking at herself now with love, because I feel it. And wow, I can love myself some more too. It's an energy that's spreading like wildfire. So while you are in the constructs where this world tell you, you just need to walk within these shoe prints, follow the leader, and this is the constructs where you go. You don't need to, and your heart knows, and that's why you're saying, what's my purpose? All of a sudden, your purpose is to simply be you, and you're going to say, what is being me? It's here in your heart. That memory when you were a child, when you were the happiest, that thing that you did that lit you up so much, you have been actively creating skills along the way of your life to perfect it, to revolutionize it, to be this container of love, to be this person who permeates this career that changes the way people look at it, to catalyze and to break these ancestral curses within your family. Because the ones who come behind you, they're the ones who are riding on your back. And it's not weight. It's with anticipation. It's with excitement. So the burdens that you have chosen to take in this lifetime of everything that's passed behind you, know that you are only meant to witness it and take from it the experiences, knowing that They did it for you, not for you to continue the struggle. They did it for you to acknowledge, yes, I have the right to rewrite my story now and step off this stage. That scene has ended. There's another stage set up for you with new players, new costumes, and you're the one who's rewriting the story, so it's time. Hashtag lighthouse, because that's what we're doing in our families, in our communities. Yes, there's atrocities happening all over the world, but hey, within this body that we call the earth, sometimes it only takes starting to fix one cell, or put a band aid, or put something on one part of your body to start feeling healing all over the world, all over your body. It's the same construct, you see. The world represents a body, a universal body, and every one of us has a part to play, and it starts with you. Okay? I think I stayed too long. It's 45 minutes. I was supposed to just have a cup of tea, and my merengue and fever grass is now cold. I hope you had a wonderful cup of tea this morning, whatever it was. This was spontaneous. I think I'll do more. It was just speaking to somebody who is just deciding, you know what, today I just give up. And I'm telling you, don't you dare, because your soul looked on this planet and thought it was going to be child's play. And yes, the physicality understands that it's limited. But you, as a soul, as a spirit, is limitless, which means there's no affliction in the world that can touch that. And no, you're not abandoning God to be true to yourself. You're just simply acknowledging the moreness of what God, universe, represents. Okay? Hey, hi. I can't pronounce your name, from Malaysia. That's so awesome. And you know what I love? I love the fact that now I am absolutely high. I'm having a live, so can you give me a moment?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be back. My daughter's up. She's the one who's why I'm home today, because she's kind of under the weather. Oh, this is a lesson I should give to you. Here's this lesson. This is funny. Okay. So my daughter is grown in Jamaica, and she's here for the summer holidays, right? And I want you to mirror this to your life. This is a lesson thank you guys. Thank you. This is going to resonate with somebody. So, when you're living your life and you're used to this construct, and this is what you're safe with. I don't know what you're safe with this morning. Maybe it's your job, maybe it's your relationship, maybe it's your family. You're safe with it, so you decide, I'm going to settle for this. This is what I have. So she is in New York now, and she always says, I want to see snow, I want to see snow, I want to see snow. But I've never sent for her to be here during the snow period, because during that time, it's really school time in Jamaica, right? So she came here, and yesterday when I checked the weather, I always check it in the morning. It's like, today is going to be cloudy with a chance of rains, but it's going to be windy. And when I was going out, she said to me, I hope it's going to be cold. I hope it's going to be cold. I said, yeah, it might be a little bit cold. But for me, I'm used to the snow and the cold. So when it gets windy, it feels like cool breeze to me. So I said to her, you need to take your jacket. No, I don't need the jacket. She's 7, right? So she doesn't know better. So I put the jacket in the bag anyway, and I went to the office. We were at the office yesterday, and I wanted to go out. So I said, I'm going to go out, but you stay because it's windy outside. No, I want to go. I want to feel the cold. I want to feel the cold. So she went outside. I went and go outside. The Jamaican will come out every so often, yeah? Because it sounds nicer sometimes when I speak in Jamaican dialect. But she went outside, and about halfway down the block, not even a whole block, I noticed she started to tense. I was like, Tiffany, what's wrong with you? Cool. I was like, no, it's not. Cool. And she was like, all of this. And the lesson for you is, all of a sudden I said to her, I said, just relax yourself. Just do this. Just do this. Just do this. Because your body is not used to it. So your mind construct is saying to you, wait, me used to call, but not this type of call. And it starts to put up this alarm system around you to say, listen, this is not the norm. I'm not used to this at all. Go back, go back, go back. So it puts her into the state where she literally started to shrink her light. Cool. So here's this expression to you. Thank you, guys. Many times we're sitting in something and we want it. So you're saying, God, I want change in my life. I want man or woman to love me. I want to have a family. I want to start my own business. I want to make more money. However, We want to take the old constructs with us. We want to just, I'm used to that. I'm used to that. And the minute things start to change, you're not used to it. And it could be the best thing for you. And you've been asking for it. So now God is blessing you with a new person. They don't look the way you want them to look. So you say, no, sir. And I'm my smutty that. However, if you just allow yourself to loosen up just for a minute, the guides always say, if you want to be enlightened, lighten up. Lighten up for a minute and pause and allow. And by the time we got to halfway down the second block, she said, Mommy, I'm good now. It's not that cold. Because when she just came out, her defense mechanism went up. Wait, this does not feel like something I can handle. And the fear crept in immediately. No, 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 no. I want to go back. I want to go back. But you're asking for change. Trust and allow. Because in order for you to become this purposeful self that you say you know in your heart, many times you have to completely leave the old constructs behind. You can't say, universe, I want change. And then when you look, you have a clean slate. Like, okay, so I came back from my NDE painting. Do you see this painting? Right? I can show you pictures of how many times I've changed it. Because I'm trying to recreate what I saw on the other side. Within a vision, when I came back, sometimes I am in this vision where I'm either in this big conference room and there are angels, but also other beings that I don't identify, but I know they're extraterrestrial. That's another topic, and I don't want to lose you now, okay? And it's like they're in this boardroom and they're observing us on Earth. And I think they put me in this place, I don't know why, to witness and also to confirm that, wow, we are being overseen in a sense. However, I get this feeling of them looking on us and realize, why is it on this earth we're self-sustained and they have so much purpose and they don't realize? So this painting has changed 3 times. The first one had more colors because I'm trying to recreate the color. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because you have the power of choice to choose. Do I want to remain here where it's always been familiar, although it feels so limited? Or do I want to trust now to change? And you can try something until the excitement is lost from it. And as soon as the excitement is lost, it's okay for you to dash paint or any ideas on that canvas of your life and repaint it. Because as soon as you start to do that, then the fear starts to lift away because your mind starts to trust your heart. Wait, when she trusts this heart, she's really at peace. When she trusts this heart, really, you know what? The right people just show up in our life. When she trusts her heart, we're not limited to money anymore. Now we're open to abundance. She just got this gift. Just as she needed to pay this bill, she just got a call and this happened. And this person, do you see that person who never met her before who was so kind to her? Do you see the kids, how they hug her and she feels and receives the love? Oh my gosh, do you see what happened the other day? You open to abundance. You are free to rewrite your story. And if you're not good at writing, you are free to get a blank canvas, honey, and just start painting what you want to experience. Yes, it's possible. And I think the fact that she came in, she just woke up, and that was a message for somebody. I like to talk in ways that you will absolutely reciprocate and understand what I'm saying. I don't want to talk angel words. Sometimes when I'm finished and I watch, rewatch the sessions I have when the angels come through, I was like, what the daylights are they talking about? So what happens now, I find that they're now using more my words than the words that some people would say. I had to watch it 3 times to understand what they meant. Because I'm a visual person and I like to speak in analogies, and I love that. So now the messages come in analogies where you can relate to it. Okay, I'm going to go because it's now 53 minutes and I don't want to be here for an hour. And I have to go heat this tea. Now you can start very slow. If your body is giving you, this feeling of imbalance, think firstly of giving yourself a detox, a really gentle detox, because the cells in your body are very important to the health of your life. Now, this is not Has nothing to do with health reading. I'm not giving you any advice to say do this, do that. I'm just saying seek it out. Go to a doctor. Just find somewhere and say, you know what? I want to start with a detox. Yeah. My grandmother gave me the modality to use, and I use it. It was good for me. And I've always since done that. Yeah. But sometimes instead of thinking, oh, let me get the synthetic, this, that, try to find yourself in a space where you can get professional advice and consider to give yourself a natural detox. Give your body a gentle natural detox. Get advice where you can get really good natural supplemental detox. Start there. And that was the main message where I came on here this morning, because I wanted a cup of coffee and the machine is there. I was like, yes, I'm going to get coffee with the froth on top. And then my guide said, no, you're not. You're going to start your day with detox. I was like, you know what? But I quite so enjoy it because I can feel the cells in my body lighting up. And I'm going to do it for as long as I need to and allow my body to tell me what I need to do. But as soon as I started to make this tea, I thought to myself, but it's not just detoxing the body. It's also detoxing your spiritual life and your surroundings and your choices and your thoughts and your words. So instead of saying hard today, the first lesson to you is say challenging, will ya? We're going to start taking some words out of your vocabulary. Some words that really has some low frequency. So test this out for today. Before I go, before it hits an hour, test your energy body and just simply say to yourself, I don't deserve. I'm nothing. Don't do it too long though. I want you to practice what your body says back to you when you say that, because it will never agree with you. You will gently, if you're not so busy here, feel the energy depleting from your body, because your cells are like, imagine this flower that just bloomed and something come around that's just too harsh for it, and you can literally just see the flower, the petals just slowly withering away. That's what you do to your cells energetically when you use those words. And when you do that, I want you to stop for a minute and say, I am enough. I love me. I deserve, even if you want to shout it out. And breathe. And feel how the cells in your body light up. This is you starting to practice. I don't care. I'm doing this for free. Teaching you how to connect with your energy body, with your spirit, guiding your cells. I don't care about anyone else who say, oh, that's going to the devil. No. Are you the devil? You are training yourself to intuitively connect with your heart, which guides you. So when you meet that person or you have that decision to make, you can literally just check in with your heart. I don't need to really see a psychiatrist or call my mom or my dad. I used to do this. To say, do you think this is right for me? How the daylights are they going to know? Do they have your heart? No, you do. And you haven't listened to it in a while. So yes, today when you're stuck in traffic and you're getting agitated, remember these two words, pause and allow. Just be aware of this breath of life and this breath of choice and this breath of infinite possibilities. And within that breath, although the mind is telling you, I'm going to be late, I can't do this, I can't. Why is that man not driving fast enough? Don't do that. Just look at it from a different perspective and just pause in this moment and say, you know what? Thank you, with gratitude, for loving yourself, for being out there where the air can permeate your body and the sun can simply give you a recharge. And you can observe for a minute a child in a vehicle next door who just gives you the most beautiful angelic smile of somebody on the other side telling you it's really going to be okay. Try that today. And try speaking words of affirmation that your body actually loves. And start to detox yourself from these very toxic words and toxic thoughts of other people's really choice of choosing to withhold love from themselves. And you have decided, oh, it's popular, it's the trend. Do you see what's going on social media now? Okay, let me leave that alone for now. But anyway, look this up. In the ancient times, when they used to have the Colosseums, there is and aspects of the ancient times where the natives just knew that the colosseums were a place that the dark entities used to harness the energy of fear. So they place people in the middle of these colosseums. You know, when they send them out and they fight to the death, they choose these poor beings and they have to go, and you can't just fight to stop, you have to fight to die. And when you notice there are thousands of people there with one common factor, they want to see the demise of somebody. And what they didn't realize then is that the darkness was harvesting their fear. Your fear is powerful for the darkness. It keeps you not knowing, but it keeps it powerful. It keeps it within the realms of always creating a distraction that you believe, because now you start to live from here and your heart can't tell you, yeah, that's what it looks like. However, feel. You live your life no longer feeling what's true to you. So you look on the person without knowing them, and immediately you don't like them. Then you add on to this energy. So social media has now been the modern colosseum. See, the darkness also has to evolve, because if you notice the places, you know, when we have the World Cup and stuff, the energy that permeates from there is so much unity and love that during a World Cup, if you notice, even if there's wars happening, it almost seems as if it stops. Why? Because we find a common space, a common oneness, a common place where we are at peace, where we are almost like children who are harboring no fear whatsoever. We're just in love. We're in love with one thing. And that's the power that we hold. So the darkness had to come up with the entertainment industry where, you know, now we have social media that we can use as, you know, a place where we start to spread the lighthouse. However, people click mostly on the things that fester fear and fester bitterness and fester blame and judgment, because you don't understand that you're feeding into that fear that's already here. But your body tells you, because when you start to watch these things, you feel this anger building up, you feel this bitterness, you feel your body starts to tell you you're going in off balance, you know. Turn it off, switch it, find something that makes you feel more within balance within this body, more enlightened, happier, not angry for the whole day. So did you see what he just did? And you tell everyone for that day, and what you don't realize that you are also now playing the game of darkness, because you're amplifying the light of bitterness, of hate, of judgment, of greed, of hate, of hate, of hate. It's so heavy. Look it up. There's a lot for you to learn. You will know in time. And most of you already know, but you just don't want to talk about it because people are going to say you're weird and you're woo-woo. Well, I don't care. I almost died and I know what it feels like. And I know what it is going to be like. But most of all, I know where my perspective has changed. And I know that we are boots on the ground. And I know we, not just I, we have a lot of work to do. And I'm only on here talking because most of you don't need an NDE to remember that you really are deserving, that you really are loved, that we're not waiting to see God on a mountainside or universe or creator or savior. God has been waiting on you to choose now, because giving love, firstly to yourself, is the ultimate gift. Secondly, forgiving yourself. And with those two, your perspective changes immediately, because then you start to see the imprints of the fear that's embedded in everything around you. And you just simply start to choose. I really love myself, so I'm really not interested in this conversation right now. I'm really not interested to be in this crowd. This habit, I love myself so much. This habit doesn't serve me anymore because it just doesn't feel right anymore. And you trust and you trust and you trust. Yes, I know this job sounds really good, but you know what? My soul is telling me I'm moving to another state. And I trust and I trust and I trust and I allow. Guiding by your own internal GPS, where you're not always sitting in the back bench feeling as if you're unworthy, always trying to seek outside of yourself for the answers that are already here. And with that, I end this transmission. I'll look at if there are any messages, if anything that I can do to help anybody this morning. And then I'm going to go do some work, okay? And my work is simply just being at peace with myself. The moment I'm doing anything that it feels as if it's going to be something outside of me, it's done. It's mute. It's complete. And I just move on to the next thing. And everything that I do in my life right now is like child's play. I'm in interior design in New York, and it's like child's play. I used to do this as a kid, and I never knew I'd end up doing it as an adult. In an interior design industry where everything starts from a blank slate and you just see the colors and everything just create, and you make a person's vision just come to life. And it's child's play. And then I can sit across a screen and talk to so many beautiful beings and feel the weight that they come in with and just feel it lifted from them by the time they go and get the messages from their angels or their guides. And yeah, I'm really at play. I'm really, and you deserve to be at play. Okay? Okay. Barbara Crease, is that how you pronounce your name? Hi, love. Hi. Sean Hartz, thank you. Love and light to you. I appreciate you spending the time this morning when you probably should be out. I had oats, eggs, avocado bread, and bitter bush tea. Yes, listen, mine is not bitter because this morning I didn't put cerasee in it. I should have put cerasee in it, but man, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Yes, that's what you do. You listen to your body. Thank you, Nekesha. I just came across the NDE video on YouTube and found your channel and can't believe you're live right now. I can't believe it either. I should still be in bed. But I really was supposed to go to the office today, and then my daughter was down under the weather, and I thought to myself, if I go to the office with her, I'm going to be completely distracted because she's getting the flu, it seems, and she's always going to be coming out of that room to me, and I can't focus. So now that I'm here, she can stay in her room and do whatever she does in her puniness, and I can be more functional here because I can work remotely here at my office, which is cool. All right, so that's why I'm here. And then my guide said to me this morning, no coffee, bush tea. And then I had this thought, oh my gosh, it's detox. They want me to detox. So I thought to myself, press that button. And they wanted me to press this button to tell you about the detoxing of your bodies, but not just your bodies, your spiritual life and your environment, and to know that you are the light in these dark spaces. Don't try to retreat yourself or shrink your light to fit into anyone's paradigms. Stand in your truth and your power and allow the powers that be, the light, to just guide you. Your videos and words are healing to me. It's because Yukiswaran, listen, I can't pronounce your name. If I butchered it, I apologize. Whenever somebody is saying something and it resonates with you, it doesn't mean that they have something that you don't have. It's because that person has exactly what you have, and maybe you chose to leave it dormant. I am a mirror of you. If you're here and you resonate with what I'm saying, it's because I mirror you somehow, and it's like we're soul family in a sense. And your soul say, wait. Press that button, and all of a sudden you see a video that resonates with you because that message is something you needed in that moment. And if you're here and it doesn't resonate with you, it's okay, But the fact that you remain to listen, to judge, it's because your mind is telling you, yeah. What she's saying is too fearful. That's ridiculous. That's treacherous. That's sorcery. Oh my gosh, she must be burnt at the stake. But your heart is subtly saying, no, listen, something here resonates with you. So either way, you're on your way to your own mastery, okay? Okay, DJ, I recommend setting up a meeting on her webpage. Very affordable and very useful. Oh, thank you, DJ. I have free consultations there, but I mean, if it's something immediate, send me an email. I found that it's still powerful even through emails. I have absolute testimonies through emails because I don't mind just honing in and just giving back, because that's the whole purpose. Purpose isn't to be here and try to build this empire with everyone outside. I'm not trying to build anything. I just need to continue to be this lighthouse, because that was my promise coming back. I am simply that, okay? What do the crowns and numbers mean by everyone's names? What do you mean, crowns? Oh, I have no idea either. I have to figure it out. I'm new to this live thing. Daisy Ortega. If anyone knows, tell me. I'm just noticing that, telling you. I haven't a clue. I haven't a clue either. But we'll figure it out, okay? I think they're fan ranks. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Maybe that makes sense. I have no clue. This is my second YouTube live, and I'm practicing it because I want to have fun doing it with you, okay? No, she's okay. I can hear her. She just woke up, and I think she wanted to figure out if I left her or not. So she came, opened the door. She knows the assignment. She's good. And I can hear her playing in there, so she's all right. But I'm going now. Yes, I'm going because I'm going to have to force her to drink some of this bush tea right now. I love that you speak that way because I do the same thing and try to get my point across. Yeah, it's the best way. Yes, thank you, Daisy. Okay. Hello, Nekesha and everyone. Hello. I am about to go. You're such a natural on air. You know, I fought not to be on the air. I fought not to go on screens because I never liked it. And maybe about 6 months ago, I never forgot. I woke up. I had a dream one morning before, and I had this dream of combing my hair, which was, and I remember within the dream, my hair was coming out from the root. And in the dream, I said, I don't understand, why is my hair coming out? But it was prettier and longer in the dream. At the time, I had braids in. And I woke up that morning and I said, I'm going to pull the braids out. And when I started to pull the braids out, my hair was coming out from the root. I didn't understand why. And for about half an hour, I cried. And then I saw my reflection in the mirror, and it's like, straighten your back. Why are you crying? Your hair doesn't define you. And I stopped for a minute and I said, where are you redirecting me to? Why is my hair falling out? And I remember I had a dream that night. My grandmother said, well, go to the doctor. And I went to the doctor and I said, Dr. Jerry, something's up with my hair. I noticed something. My body is telling me something. So I did a blood test, and when he came back, he said I had an underactive thyroid. Really, really bad. And because of that, the hair is gone and all of that. And from that, I remember I had a series of dreams that I didn't connect at the time. And my guide said the reason why is because I'm not speaking my truth. And physically, your body is ready to do it, because I've been kind of left myself dormant for the past 3 years, because for the past 3 years, I've done a lot of videos, and I'm going to post them here probably. And I had a lot of dreams recorded, but I never pressed play. Because I always said to my guys, there are enough people out there giving these messages. I don't want to do it. And then I think the moment this happened to me, and I said, you know what? Okay, I surrender. I'll do it. But you got to send people to me. I'm not going out there. And the minute I trusted in that, I never forget. Less than a week later, I got a call from somebody from IANS, IANDS. And I was like, what's IANS? And he said, your NDE was featured on our monthly newsletter. And I was like, how did it even get there? But years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I did a video on my NDE because I said, okay, I'm going to try it. But I know I butchered that video. And then I retreated and I didn't share it either because I didn't want my Jamaican people to know about it. It was too woo-woo. And I was like, I'm getting judged by my family already. Why am I going to make this public? But because my guides pushed me, then I did, I squeezed the one video in and then I think 2 more. And I was like, okay, I don't have to do it again. So I really lay dormant, you know what I mean? And I think because I lay dormant and the messages kept coming, and I went through a phase of, I don't want these dreams anymore. Take them from me, because I'm dreaming about these atrocities and I can't help these people. And my channel doesn't have people who was listening, and I'm being judged, and take it. I don't want these dreams of these predictions. And then they took me through this phase of understanding you're not meant to change it. You're supposed to just be this lighthouse, to give the people the option, to tell them about what's coming, but not what being propagated to say fearful. Allow them to see what these happenings, what these events mean to them spiritually. Allow them to see the rebirth that they need to make. Allow them to understand their boots on the ground. And I still fought with this. So when that call came in, it was for me magnificent. And I just braved up. I was like, okay. One day I said, what do I need to do today? And then as soon as I went to my phone, it was Alba Weinman. I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I need to do today. And I've been trying to book Alba for 3 years, and that day is like the earth paused. And for the first time, if anyone knows Alba, when her newsletter comes up and you have to press to book, she only does 1 booking a month, you never get it because there's always somebody who makes that 1 booking. That day, everything went wrong with my phone. It was moving slow. I don't know why. But when I did get to it, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to get it. And when I clicked, I got the appointment. I was like, shoot, I'm going to do it. QHT session. And that opened me up to having these memories, pre-birth, understanding what my path was. And it also concreted everything that I already knew from my NDE. And that started the trajectory. So I started to have meetings with this beautiful group from IONS, and they're really researching NDEers, wanting to know what your experience is. And for the first time with them, I think it was Archangel Michael that I channeled. And I was really weird when I did the rewatch. I was like, why is my hands doing that? I was so judgmental of myself. Say, absolutely, I'm not doing that public. People are going to think I'm weird because I'm like, why can't I keep still? Why am I doing that? And then I realized, let it go. Because it's not the way you look. It's a message that's coming true. And the angels said, feel into the message. They need it. This is time. So that's kind of why I digress into this. And I said, you know what? I don't care. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm giving this message of love. That's it. I'm not telling you, oh, this is going to happen, because I don't want to do anything fear-mongering. I'm not interested. I've gotten offers to do interviews to just talk about, all the predictions. I'm not interested, because I don't want to have a full video of somebody who's going to tell them, oh, this is going to happen, this, then. Yes, I can tell you. And I will tell you if my guides allow it to come through. But if you notice, when I tell you the catalyst of change. Yes, that's okay. I tell you the catalyst of change that comes from that probability. Because every prediction that's given is something for us to be aware of, to choose. Do I want to experience this catastrophe in all its totality? And if I choose not to, then you know what I'm going to do? We're going to collectively simply pray. We're going to meditate. We're going to send healing and love into this region. And then you have proof in the concept to say, yeah, they propagated that this was going to be the most terrible storm ever. However, yes, there were casualties, but it wasn't as bad as it was. I want you to acknowledge that you did that. With your prayers, with your well wishes, with not judging or blaming, with simply just sending healing and love there. And I'm going to go with that message, because that's important for you to know how important your life is. And many of you, you want to have this grandeur identity. No, the angel says some of us are just here to be a container, to be a mother. Just to be a reflection to this child, to contain the love that they come, especially kids on the spectrum. They choose you because they know, I am choosing this mother because she can contain my unconditional love. That's another story. That's another live talking about these children. So don't put identity on yourself to say, oh, I'm going to measure myself by external outcomes. No. You measure yourself and your success by finding yourself at peace. By how you speak, what you write, what you project out there, and when you choose to give love instead of withholding it. And with that, have yourself a wonderful Friday, y'all, because I am going to have one. I have some work to do, which is not work, play. And I'm going to do it today. So, first thing I need to do is heat this bush tea. And if you don't know bush tea, just get something natural, okay? There are many of them out there. Sometimes your body just needs a reset from the sugar and the synthetic foods that you have, okay? So, with that, I say bye.
Can I be in the video?
Why you want to be in the video? Your hair's not even combed. Stand up. Her hair is not combed. Put your face. Put your face here. Okay, let's go. So I have to wash her hair later on and all of that, okay? All right, so bye. Bye. I don't know how to end it. Okay, that's how I end it. Ended. Beautiful.